Ruto's regime, through the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, is trying to insinuate or prep us that coming 2027, there might not be elections. Why? In what Mudavadi describes as a constitutional crisis, he says that there is need for referendum to review the boundaries, which needs to be conducted between 8 to 12 years. And now, the time that it was supposed to happen was March 6th, 2024. That was the deadline. Ask yourself, why did it not happen? These are all indicators that shows this regime is determined to prolong their stay in government unconstitutionally. Listen to Mudavadi.
There is a beckoning reality that 2027 is a referendum moment. Allow me to state, without fear of contradiction, that there is an imperative need for a constitutional review 15 years after the promulgation of the 2010 Katiba. As your leader and son, I must speak the truth about a looming constitutional storm. As a country, we are staring at a massive legal crisis where the 2027 election could be nullified before it even begins. Our 2010 Constitution demands boundaries review every 8 to 12 years. Our deadline was March 6, 2024. We have passed it. We are now in a period of constitutional non-compliance. Here is the catch. You cannot have a boundary review without a valid national census. The 2019 census was nullified in 3 counties, namely Mandera, Wajir, and Garissa.
So Musalia Mudavadi argues that mixing the 2019 data with the 2026 data will be invalid, hence making no valid boundaries, which is equivalent of no elections. Remember the theory that I gave you about the dead cat theory, and also about how the government tries to prepare you an abnormality until you are used to it. The issue of when a frog is dipped inside hot water, immediately it will sprout out. When it is dipped inside cold water, then the temperature is adjusted slowly. It will feel comfortable in those waters until the moment it will realize it's burning and wants to jump out, it will have no energy to come out of it. It is the same thing that this Ruto's regime is doing by having this kind of message given to us. The regime is already preparing us to accept the abnormality that there might not be elections in 2027 a cause of no boundaries review.
The court ordered a mini census for the 3 counties to be conducted by January 2026, yani mwezi goza. So, here are the issues. The census deadlock here is that a patchwork census mixing 2019 data with 2026 data is a legal impossibility. There will be no valid population data. Therefore, it means that no valid boundaries, and subsequently, no valid boundaries mean no valid election. Notably, the structural bottlenecks is that our population has exploded, yet we are trapped in Article 89(4) of the Constitution that limited us to 290 constituencies only.
I don't know who advises this government. Now, in terms of the dead cat philosophy, having these will make us focus on these, while other key issues that we should be considering or concentrating on are left behind. By all means, we could see a regime that wants to hold on to power.
Without a constitutional amendment, the IBC cannot give high growth areas the representation they deserve, and our protected constituencies face extinction. At the county level, there is equally a serious conflict between the 2010 constitution that allows IBC to name, rename, reduce or increase county wards, when the County Governments Act limits wards to 1,450 only. This again traps us into providing fresh wards to cater for the increased population and needs for resources closer to our people.
Amidst embezzlement of public funds, amidst the Auditor General coming out to say that billions of funds are being withdrawn from the e-citizen, then the consolidated fund, by whom nobody knows, to where nobody knows, and those funds just disappear in thin air, boom, there is another thing, saying that they need to constitutionalize a Senate fund to help senators, I don't know with what role. 2, Ward Development Fund. I mean, is the NGCDF not enough? Do you mean to tell us that the roles spelled for these MCAs and for senators in the Constitution is not sufficient? If whatever is there you cannot manage, what of adding these funds? And adding these funds while you're being told and you're clapping means more taxation, means giving more funds that the leaders whom these funds will fall onto their hands will lack accountability. So, what system are we creating?
I here add with conviction that we need also to introduce a new development fund, namely the Senate Oversight Fund, to cater for the specific role played by senators in providing for devolution. That means we make CDF constitutional and we also make the Senate funds constitutional. As part of strengthening devolution and inclusivity, fellow citizens, we should also constitutionalize the proposed creation of the Ward Development Fund, which is also a necessary creation for MCS. The Ward Development Fund will ensure resources for water points, community halls, and other grassroots needs instantly.
It's like we are worshipping corruption. It's like this regime is worshipping corruption. This regime is praising corruption. Ruto's regime is bathing in corruption. Integrity and Ruto's regime are two different things that cannot sit under one roof. You cannot run a government through public relations in lies. Even public relations is entitled to truth. Let us stop giving Kenyans half-truths by starting to point out the lacuna in the Constitution. What we lack is implementation. Like, if the law states that we need to have a boundaries review every 8 to 12 years, which the deadline was March 6th last year, 2024, why wasn't that possible? Let us stop creating self-inflicted problems, then later on come and blame the Constitution. If as a regime, if as an administration, you have failed to implement the Constitution, then let us say that regime is illegitimate. It is broken down, or dissolve the government and seek fresh mandate from the people to elect a government that understands what it means to deliver unto their promises. All these we are seeing are just but plans to make sure they subvert the will of the people. And we're not going to tire or to be tired of speaking. Day in, day out, we shall always be doing this. I don't know what's your take on this. Give me your thought in the comment section below. If you're watching from my YouTube channel and you love content of this nature, kindly subscribe and press the notification button, so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Halif is my name for the unscripted talks here in Dub Radio. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dub Radio ndio mpango mzima.